Hillary Clinton went on CNN where Chris Cuomo threw some softballs for her down the center of the plate. Let's watch.
Senator Sanders' campaign manager, Jeff Weaver, said something very interesting, inflammatory on our air here, saying that, the Clinton campaign, Secretary Clinton, they need to be careful not to destroy the Democratic Party merely in pursuit of her own ambition to be president. Very strong words. Your response to that idea?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just ludicrous on the face of it. I have been campaigning for Democrats, fundraising for Democrats, recruiting Democrats to run and win for a really long time, I think about 40 years. And Senator Sanders, by his own admission, has never even been a Democrat. So, look, I understand they're getting anxious. I get that. But they need to be thoughtful about what they do say, because at the end of the day, we need a Democratic president to succeed President Obama and to protect and further the progress that we've made under his 8 years in office.
Exit polls do show that those Democrats who want to see President Obama's policies extended, continued, certainly favor you. And this is done somewhat in the context of what you just said about Senator Sanders, about being a real Democrat. I read in a recent interview where you said, you're not even sure he is a Democrat. Is that how you feel?
Well, he himself has said that he never was. He never ran as a Democrat until he started running for president. But look, he's in the race, I'm in the race. And I believe strongly that it's not only critical to nominate someone who will win in November, but also to elect more Democrats. I'm already helping other Democrats who are running. I'm helping raise money for them. I'm supporting them, because I think it is important to have a Democratic Senate. I think it's important to have a very clear mission to elect Democrats, and that's something that I not only have done in the past, but I intend to do in the future.
There's so much I love about that clip. I mean, the main point is, after you hear the allegation of Bernie's campaign manager, Hillary goes on to rebut that point by proving that point correct. So he says, hey, we're just saying here, she shouldn't let her narcissism, ruin the Democratic Party. And she shouldn't let her vision for the Democratic Party tear apart the Democratic Party. That's a real problem. And that's reflected in the poll numbers, because so many Bernie voters are like, I'm not interested in going to vote for Hillary Clinton. And what's her rebuttal to that? She's like, well, I mean, come on. Me destroy the Democratic Party? I'm fundraising for so many Democrats. He's not. Hillary, that's the point. That's why and how you're destroying the Democratic Party. People in the Democratic base don't want anything to do with big money Wall Street fundraisers. That's the problem. That's the point that he's making. He's like, hey, she's really narcissistic and she wants to get in there by any means necessary. So she's raising all this money from Wall Street and private donors, and she's beholden to those people. And we're just saying, don't destroy the Democratic Party because of your own narcissism. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm not doing that. I'm actually doing exactly that. Yeah. So her rebuttal to the point proves the point. I'm fundraising for all these different Democrats. I'm raising so much money from these Wall Street people for these Democrats. Yeah, that's what's destroying the fucking party. How do you not get that? But again, it goes back to the point that in her mind, the corruption is just duh. The corruption is just that's part of the system. I don't understand why everybody's getting mad. There's steps to getting elected. This is probably step 1 or step 2. Like, this is the way it is. Barney Frank thinks the exact same way as he's made clear in recent interviews. President Obama thinks the same way as he's made perfectly clear. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So they are the problem. The people who are not the problem, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, the Progressive Caucus, people like that. People who say, no, we're about the philosophy. We're about social democracy. We're about getting actual change, not this incremental bullshit where first and foremost you appease your donors and then maybe kind of not really we get around to change. And she's smugly laughing it off. What do you mean destroy the Democratic Party? Look at the polls. Look at the polls. Now, everybody tries to spin it like it's the fault of Bernie voters for not saying, I'll suck it up and vote for Hillary in the general election. But that's not their problem. That's Hillary's problem. If she's not an appealing enough candidate, that means She's not an appealing enough candidate. She should be a more appealing candidate, perhaps by not being a massive sellout and therefore making people want to go vote for you. It's always blaming the victim. Oh, Bernie voters say they might not vote for Hillary Clinton. Oh, look at them. Yeah, they're the victims of this system because they don't want to vote for the lesser of two evils. They want to vote for somebody who actually might do the right thing. And again, she keeps making this point like, he doesn't want to get more Democrats elected. I think it's important we take the Senate and we take the House. No. He doesn't want sellout Democrats to get elected. So yeah, he's not going to go campaign for Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who just recently helped out predatory payday lenders. Nor should he help them. Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, oh yeah, she can't wait. Let me dive in and swim in it. These are the exact kinds of people who I want to help. So he wants Democrats elected. He just doesn't want sellout Democrats elected. And remember, she keeps going with this line. He hasn't even been a Democrat his entire career. So, hey, I'm not the problem. Maybe he's the problem. Why is that such a disingenuous line? Because Bernie was an independent because he thought the Democratic Party was too conservative. So he's a true liberal. He's a true progressive. He doesn't want to be part of the Democrats because he thinks they're a party that's too far right-wing and too much in favor of the corporations and the establishment. And he's right. And furthermore, the Democratic Party of old is with him. I think there's an argument to be made that the party left him. He didn't leave the party. So, in other words, take a look at FDR, New Deal legislation, more of a social democrat. Certainly on economic policy, this is a guy who more agrees with Bernie Sanders. He famously said of Wall Street when, he was told, all these Wall Street people hate you. He says, good, I welcome their hatred. Contrast that with Hillary Clinton, who says, I want everybody to like me. When it was brought up about Wall Street, hey, should Wall Street bankers like you or dislike you? I want everybody to like me. Where Bernie Sanders kind of echoed the sentiment of FDR, and he was like, yeah, they shouldn't like me. They should hate me. So there's so much stuff there that's disingenuous because she's trying to imply and she's trying to leave the taste in your mouth that, ooh, he's an outsider. He's not even a Democrat. And you get the sense that people who don't know politics very much might hear that, and they might think like, oh, does that mean he's with the Republicans? Because they might link Democrat Party loyalty to liberalism. But the reality is, Democratic Party loyalty is not linked with liberalism. It's linked with corporatism and being center-right and being pro-establishment, whereas Bernie is the true liberal. So there's so much about that I hate, but really the main point is that it's hilarious that they read the charge, the allegation of Bernie's campaign manager, and then she goes on to prove it. I'm not destroying the Democratic Party. I'm doing massive Wall Street fundraisers, which is destroying the Democratic Party. You wonder why, millennial voters aren't turning out in gigantic numbers for you, but for Bernie, because you're the one who sold out. He's the one who didn't sell out.